It's about to get wild. Let it go.
All right. Welcome back to the TERYNN Show, motherfuckers, where we don't recap. We say what everyone else is too goddamn scared to say. We're officially in WrestleMania season, so we're going back to the foundation. Before the billion-dollar stage, before everything was polished, this was messy. It was chaotic, and some of it was pretty fucking questionable. That being said, this man has been emotionally stuck in the Attitude Era since 1998, cracks a drink before every opinion, and somehow gets louder when he's wrong. Everybody, welcome Dirty Dick Rick. He is here in the building.
Woo!
How you doing, Tony?
Always my toast to the queen.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, no. It's the Bacardi, the brown Bacardi. Oh, no. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The gold Bacardi.
We're kicking it off right tonight. All right. Dirty Dick is here. He is dirty dicking around as always. Next up, it's not the TERYNN Show without our other co-host, the Villanova Casanova. Long hair, bad decisions, and defending the most random, questionable matches like his life fucking depends on it. He's a certified menace, a professional instigator. Ladies and gentlemen, Kit Osborne is also in the building.
So, how did I get to Canada? Well,
what's a man got to do to be a cork around here?
What's going on? I am now. This is going to amp me up. Talking about the best half of WrestleMania, especially with you guys. When you start drinking,
I came prepared,
right?
With an extra special, legit, right from the event WrestleMania 20 T-shirt.
That's fucking great. Cool.
You got that. You got the chair. You know, you've just seen it all, haven't you?
I mean, other than you naked, but that's coming. We got goals, baby. Drink up.
Just a quick heads up. I am having a little bit of difficulties. I don't think I'll be able to pull the comments up on the screen today, so I will be reading them from the chat itself, which I don't know if anybody has noticed, but I did, in fact, get a whole new background for the TERYNN Show here live on Facebook and YouTube. So, yay, grow.
Yep, it looks like as if TERYNN just threw up maple leaves. Like,
you know,
I have adjusted so I can see the comments now.
Well, I can see the comments. I just can't pull them up onto the screen. So we have Heather Williams saying evening, Cody saying Dirty Dick, I seen you on a post. Mary Brazel, good evening. Tony's mom, hi all. Only Mania I seen was in Toronto. And Heather saying, I got to see 28 and 29 live. The only WrestleMania I seen live was last year. And we all know why. Because, you know, The pal of the TERYNN and Des show, a pal of the TERYNN show, John Cena, had his last WrestleMania match, so I made a point to go, and that is the only reason. So there we go. There we have it. But we are not here to talk about current WrestleManias. We're here to talk about old WrestleManias. So, I mean, let's just start it off right. We might as well go WrestleMania 1 to 5, the Celebrity Chaos era.
It was the rock and wrestling era.
Yeah.
That was the MTV, the big crossover era.
I mean, one of the biggest risks somebody would ever take. After putting, like wrestling really, I think, more in the public eye than is some deep down dirty South, territorial way. And this is, a national show, and that is why Vince McMahon, just changed the game with one probably really somewhat shitty pay-per-view.
So that's kind of that's the theme of the show tonight, and I hate to not disagree because that's what I love to do, but in this case I got to agree. WrestleMania 1 was a spectacle because of what it was. They brought in celebrities. One of my favorite celebrity guest appearances of all time, in Mr. T in the main event. That was great for me. But other than that, you look at the actual card. You look at the card on paper, it doesn't look very good. You watch the actual pay-per-view, and it's okay. I've been to better house shows, and I mean that honestly.
Absolutely, we have.
So, as far as WrestleMania 1 being the catalyst of what we know today, I've watched it at least a dozen times. It's there was a lot of things that happened on it that were cool. I was a big fan of Junkyard Dog and the match he had. That was pretty cool. I really don't like Hulk Hogan. So for me, that wasn't a draw, but
did you always not like Hulk Hogan?
I've never liked Hulk Hogan, and that's going to build into many of the later WrestleManias because basically if you were up against Hulk Hogan, you were probably one of my favorite wrestlers anyways. So, and Hogan being a pretty much a fucking, he was there for the first 6-7 Manias or some shit like that. So
yeah, but
I don't even know.
What was it that it just came out the last, it was Hogan, the only match that he's won or something, or the only title defense, I guess, at Mania. He's lost almost every single one except for one. No, not any defense. Any defense that he's had, he's lost at WrestleMania.
I'd never seen that. The only stat that I wrote down was WrestleMania 6 was his first clean pinfall loss since 1981, which is an insane stat.
Fuck out of here.
That's an insane
That's
stat.
Wild.
Yeah. 1981 obviously predates WrestleMania 1 by 3 years. 84 was WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the guy had a fucking, almost a 10-year career without a clean pinfall loss.
I'm looking at all of the matches now, Tito Santana, the Executioner, King Kong Bundy.
The squash against SD Jones.
Special Delivery Jones.
Yeah.
Steamboat versus Matt Bourne. Was that the Matt Bourne that's Doink?
He would later on become Doink. Yep.
Why is it? It is like a glorified house show.
But at the time, though, you got to think that like Matt Bourne was an established he wasn't a superstar. They didn't really have superstars
in 1985.
Yet,
I don't know.
He was considered a good hand. Good enough to be on the card. Obviously, he was a good wrestler. Yeah. Obviously, Tito Santana was an up and coming fucking, although still underutilized. He was a big star, But to open WrestleMania, that was cool for him.
Yeah, but those early WrestleManias, they were just gambles. They figured it out live as they went, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah.
So, really, ultimately, I don't know. Maybe we should, what we should do is give it, let's give these a rating out of 10. Or you know what? Yeah, we'll give them a rating out of, trying to think how we would, we would rank it. Something we probably should have done pre-tape.
I usually give things like helicopter swings, but I mean that's a different rating system. So
yeah, it sure
I
is.
will just rate the first 1 to 5 as mid.
Yeah,
the first 5
I would say
WrestleManias,
Mid.
I
At
rate
best.
almost all of them as mid except for like 3.
yeah, 3 and really like
No, I don't
3
mean
was
like
the only-
3 in particular. I mean like 3 total. 3 of them total.
All
I
right,
really
so looks like Dirty Dick is the villain here tonight, boys. Usually
listen. There's
it's me, but
So anyway, WrestleMania 1.
WrestleMania 1.
Amazing for what it is the inaugural, event that, that we hold dear today, that we have literally WrestleMania season, and without Hogan, as much as you hate him or not, without Mr. T, Muhammad Ali being there, Roddy Piper,
Yeah. Yep.
It would never have happened. So,
Liberace, one of my personal
Liberace is there as
heroes.
well. And then that was WrestleMania 3. Well, anyway, so I'll say that for the spectacle that it is, how well hyped up it probably was, which is like ahead of its, not something that most wrestling fans would ever be used to. In 1985, utilizing, people like Cyndi Lauper and
Huge.
rock and wrestling.
Huge.
Like
Yeah.
one of the biggest stars.
Lou Albano, who was kind of the crossover, actually.
Yeah, and the music video and everything.
Yeah, he was really he was Super Mario, for Christ's sake.
Mhm.
But for
So
the
I'll give it the
wrestling and the
appreciation.
MTV thing, he definitely
Oh yeah.
was a big part of the crossover. So
Yeah. So I appreciate what it is. But I'm sleeping.
quality wise, I think we all agree. Yeah. Gotta
mid
be,
as fuck.
I do appreciate the Andre the Giant winning the fucking he had the body slam challenge.
Yeah, the
And he
$15,000.
took all the money out of the fucking duffel bag and was giving it out to all the fans before Bobby the Brain Heenan fucking snatched it and ran off. What a fucking heel. What a guy.
God. All right.
It'd be like that sometimes. So we might as well move on to WrestleMania 6 to 10 then. Hogan versus Warrior, Bret Hart Rising, and WrestleMania 10 ladder match. A real shift in professional wrestling.
Oh, I didn't know that we were gonna. All we did was talk about one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we all unanimously just decided they were extremely mid.
I don't know. I mean, Macho Man and the Macho Man and Steamboat, one of the greatest matches of all time at WrestleMania.
So that's one of the things is that every Mania has at least like one standout match or moment that makes it go back and it worth to go back and watch, but the overall card is terrible.
Yeah.
All right.
WrestleMania 3 had not just what's considered one of the greatest matches of all time with Savage and Steamboat, but it had Andre and the Hogan and Andre body slam, but the rest of the fucking card it's forgettable. Yeah. So
we can still move on, but one of the things I do like to talk about is that there's still that how would you put it? It's Andre the Giant's been body slammed 8 million times before this match.
It was
believable in that at that time, to the majority of the audience that Hulk Hogan is the first person to ever body slam Andre the Giant. And that's, when, you couldn't just look it up, like that was a conversation. Like there's no way that they body slammed him or anything like that, So I always appreciate, things like that you like. There was never a time outside of there is no wrestling outside of WWF. Is kind of how Vince, worked, worked his company. So,
Taryn, you are right. Like WrestleMania 4 was also largely forgettable. It had the tournament for the world title, which maybe the only notable thing that happened in the entire pay-per-view was Macho Man won the title at the end. Other than that, it's absolutely kind of a drag to get through. And then WrestleMania 5, other than the Mega Powers explode, brother.
Yeah, they collide.
Nothing real. Other than that, there was nothing really to talk about. So Terren's not wrong here, folks. Whether you like it or you don't, and I'm sure a lot of people don't.
And other than WrestleMania 2 being that what they thought was a good idea of splitting the shows, where like people are going to whatever arena that they're at, and then they're watching the rest of it on the fucking screen. You know?
WrestleMania 2 was in 3 places.
Yeah.
Each place had 4 matches on each card. And the main event was fucking what was it, Bundy? And
and Hogan.
yeah,
Cage.
I mean,
yeah, come on.
cool, I guess, at the time.
Other than Hogan ripping his shirt off or whatever.
Yeah.
On the cage, like I don't remember anything. I just, like I said,
now, you know what? Imagine they did that this day and age and didn't tell fans. Holy Christ almighty.
I mean, I feel like they're getting close to it.
The attention spans alone aren't wouldn't be able to handle it. Like,
well,
the
I
fact
just
that
think
they're doing 2 nights in the same place.
Yeah.
I can see them doing 2 nights, 2 cities pretty soon.
Yeah.
They used to do the 2 house show, the 2 Raw and SmackDown used to run separate parts of the country at the same time. So they could easily do 2 shows in 2 different cities and 2 nights.
I mean,
I also remember going to they called it a Raw SmackDown Super Show because they would record SmackDown and then Raw would be live or whatever. And I was just like, I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, we can definitely move on now.
Well, I know TERYNN wants to get to WrestleMania 6 because it's Toronto. I know that. It's Canada, baby, the first time.
Well, fun fact, also, Edge was at that one, and there's pictures of him cheering for Hulk Hogan. And guess what? That turned into him going and being one of the greatest fucking wrestlers of all time. So,
Edge and Christian were at that one, right? I think. Was it both of them?
I just know about Edge.
I know Edge for a fact, yeah.
I'm a big peep. I'm part of the peepulation for sure, but I don't know exactly if Christian was there. That's right. I was watching something and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. We're called the peeps. And this is a peepulation. I was one of them back in the day. Oh God, now I'm just gonna go on a tangent. I better stop while I'm ahead here. But I'm not too sure about Christian, but Edge was for sure there, and Canada produces, if not some of the greatest, if not all of the greatest professional wrestlers.
All of the greatest.
Name me one Canadian wrestler that didn't do good.
Owen Hart died.
I was, this is what we need. We need Hobo Chad hitting the censor button real quick on fucking.
Yeah, I know, and you know what? He did pass away. He passed away in the ring, doing what he loved for the people. Okay, what does that say?
Trying to think who else who actually sucked
from Canada.
I mean, there's plenty of Canadians that are bad. I mean, you're not going to say all of a sudden like you're born in Canada.
Yeah, but we're bred differently up here, and that's so bad. Okay, I guess I probably should have worded that a little bit better. But in that time, and we're going to lead up to, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, when it was Canadians doing like the wild shit on those WrestleManias.
Yeah.
They were going on, the Tony Candella's fucking death tour and doing all that shit, where in America it was, I'm not going to take anything away from it, but the Canadians had to fucking work extra hard just to get that spot in there. They had to prove themselves to go into America.
Definitely different.
Which, maybe eventually we're going to have to bring Dez back. Dez did go on one of the death tours in Manitoba after one of the cruises. And
he did the death tour and was featured in the documentary about it.
Yeah, he wanted to quit every day. It's driving on frozen lakes. It's going in -60 weather, sleeping on cold gym floors. Like, it is fucked up behavior. You don't know if that ice is going to crack. It's not just little lakes. It's fucking hours of driving on frozen lakes, going to reservations. You get paid $5. Some people
to wrestle in front of fucking 12 people.
Yeah. Exactly. It's insanity. So maybe at one point we should talk about the death tours here.
You wrestling fans that like a deep dive, you'd be surprised how many of the big name, not just current, but former superstars that we all loved went through that death tour before, like Terrence said, before coming to the States, and that's where they really got their reps in, which makes it, you can see the difference between Canadian wrestling and US wrestling right away. It's an
Yeah.
automatic, like a toughness that you don't really see in some of the obviously it's all character based and choreo whatever, but the Canadian ones stand out by far. And we're going to see a pattern throughout the WrestleManias that certain Canadians made moments that defined WrestleMania. So,
Yeah, that
for
it's still
WrestleMania 6, though, we had, the Matt Hogan versus Warrior. Come on.
And it actually was good,
For the limited that
mean,
those two guys were.
Yeah, exactly. They, very much put on a good show for that main, and it made it, giving Warrior the rub like that, definitely. I mean, he was. It was probably the best match I think the Ultimate Warrior's ever had ever.
Hogan too, I think.
Him versus The Rock, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we sure will. But I mean, that was like these specific 6 to 10, obviously Toronto, that is huge for Canadian fans. And I mean, what year was that one?
That was 80.
89
So it would have been
90,
1990. It would have been 1990.
99.
I'd see motherfuckers. I wasn't even born yet. So like I have to go back and watch. I mean, Kit would have been just
87. 87 was WrestleMania 3. So 88, 4, 89,
So
5, so 90.
You're looking at
Yeah, so I mean, I
drum
wasn't
match
even
people.
born. So everything I know is I had to go back and watch it, obviously. But looking back, that was like huge for Canada. We only ever had like the Stampede and stuff. So WrestleMania coming in, and we don't see shit on the West Coast like the rest of the Toronto does. So that's huge. And I mean, I would fucking kill for another WrestleMania in Canada, but I just don't see it happening ever again. So
Now that they're going global the way they are, like Toronto, I feel like is too small of a market. You'd have to have something like they're going to fucking Saudi Arabia fucking next. Come on, man. Like that's It's going to be all about how much money they can make until TKO sells them off. So
yeah, hopefully Vince buys it again.
To circle back, that loss with Hogan and Warrior that in Toronto, that was Hogan's first loss since 1981.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother!
Right there.
All people, the Ultimate Warrior,
yeah.
I'd pick Hogan over Warrior any fucking day.
I will fucking take it. Fuck, in the words of the immortal Sheik,
Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan.
Fuck the Hulk Hogan. Then now forever, Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we got fucking the WWE WWF Encyclopedia, Shady C, Chris Bearclaw.
Shady C.
1990 WWF WrestleMania 6, the Hart Foundation versus I can't read that. I'm not good with reading sometimes.
The Bolsheviks.
The Bolsheviks.
Yeah.
So, Big Boss Man versus Akeem. Come on, keep firing it off, Shady. We fucking
fire it off for us. We love you.
So, I mean, Hart Foundation.
The Brawler in there, Coco Beware, and Rick Martel. Demolition versus the Colossal Connection, which is Haku and Andre the Giant. Haku, easily one of the scariest and toughest human beings,
Legit. Like, not just in ring, but like outside the ring. There's a lot of stories about Haku tearing people's eyes out and tossing them out of windows and fucking.
Yeah,
I think there needs to be more about
Earthquake versus Hercules, Beefcake versus Mr. Perfect, and then you got one of the most ridiculous promos and of all time that definitely does not stand today with Roddy Piper versus Bad News Brown.
I was going to try to avoid that one, but that one does get some controversy. Yeah,
that did not I mean, it didn't age well then. I don't think, but you know, it was a different time.
As we say
Yeah.
often, it was a different time. Those kind of things, unfortunately, were,
You know,
they were okay.
but you got to think about it back then. At that point in time, Roddy Piper, he went through a lot. So he was just saying things.
He
He's just
did.
Yeah.
He did go through a lot.
went through a lot.
Not as much as our friend Jimmy Lloyd, but he went through a lot. But yeah. So WrestleMania 7, fucking as a fucking enjoyer of the fucking sweet leaf, started off in the best way possible with Willie Nelson singing the fucking national anthem. Right there, I was hooked and stoned. But
How
that
old were
was
you? Fucking 8?
not 91. Oh yeah, I guess I wasn't smoking yet. Was I? No. Anyways,
You were
it was
how old?
a largely unforgettable or forgettable pay-per-view besides a few things that I thought stood out. And one was the blindfold match between fucking
Oh my
Rick
God.
Martel and Jake the Snake Roberts, which was entertaining just in the fog. You see it on paper and you're like, oh, how are they gonna do this? And then in execution, it was actually really good.
Yeah, I mean, they did as well as you think they could go. But I mean, in that same show, they were supposed to be at a bigger venue and they couldn't sell it out, so they moved venues to something a little bit smaller. I just forget where. But I mean, it's
Shady C,
starting.
can you tell us where they moved that wrestling? Shady C will tell us. He's not looking this up. He's looking in his brain because he remembers everything he's putting in the chat. He is literally just typing as we say it. He knows all this stuff. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Shady C is our little he's our Rain Man of wrestling here.
Yeah, look, career-ending match, the Macho King Randy Savage versus the Ultimate Warrior, Texas Tornado versus Dino Bravo. He's just fucking he knows what's up. He knows it fucking arenas, dates. It's insanity.
So that career-ending match, fucking when I was a kid, man, that broke my heart. That was like my two favorite, like Savage and Warrior, and the whole. I believed it because I was a fucking, a little marky fucking fan kid. But when Savage lost, man, I was like, what? We're never gonna see fucking Macho Man ever again, dude. Like, what the? And I think he went into announcing for a while.
Yeah.
So it was believable that he was done, and really unfortunate for a child, but as an adult, I got to enjoy many more years of Macho Man, so I'm glad it was all just a fucking gimmick, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was at the the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena, which sounds very appetizing, instead of I think the Coliseum or something. The kayfabe excuse was a bomb threat or something for moving the venue.
That's what WWF said it was a bomb threat.
Well, no, they I guess they did it because Slaughter being an Iraqi sympathizer.
Yeah, it was the Hogan Slaughter fucking.
God damn,
during the fucking Iraqi war. Yeah.
I just want to put a quick side note. How has Sergeant Slaughter not came at old Donald Trump here? Just wondering, since he's a sympathizer and shit.
I don't know.
I mean, I think he stays relatively quiet now.
Yeah, I don't think he touches that shit, really, honestly. I've never heard him make any kind of political he's go
well,
Joe.
No, I was just thinking, since what with Donald Trump is he was involved in the wrestling at this time, fast forward fucking 35 years plus, and just a random thought.
I think Trump thinks wrestling's real, so I'm sure he probably believed the whole Iraqi turn and the whole
Yeah.
But then again, as a fucking 10-year-old, so did I. So I don't. Anyways.
Yeah.
We don't get political here on the TERYNN Show. We're all Canadian in that way.
We're all Canadian here for this hour. WrestleMania. 8 with the new inductee to Hall of Fame, Sid Vicious, or was it
Yeah.
Sid Justice? Sid Vicious. Yeah, against Hulk Hogan. Like,
See that this is the thing. This is the pattern at that point is Hulk Hogan. Like fuck Hulk Hogan. Okay, how did it turn out for him? How did it turn out for him?
I mean, money financially extremely well.
Yeah, he did good. I think the next year too with WrestleMania 9 when he stole the belt from Brett. So
Yeah, they literally
Yeah,
did.
but I
like
mean, he was also
literally
being
stole the belt.
talk about that. So
Well,
fuck
WrestleMania
Hogan.
8, like I was legit like I think 10 or 11 years old when WrestleMania 8 happened, and to me that was one of the greatest WrestleManias ever. I thought it was real. Macho Man against Ric Flair was, to this day, I still think is one of the best WrestleMania matches and stories they ever did. With Flair having the fake pictures before Photoshop of him and Elizabeth. Before she was yours, she was mine, brother. Fucking, so. But it
I
was a
can't
great
believe
storyline with Savage and getting the win, and I think that's right when Flair went back to WCW. So,
I think
but
Dirty Dick needs to start doing old school Rick
Piper and Brett.
photoshopping with women, and like I think that needs to be part of your gimmick.
I don't know if there's a need for Photoshop when you got the real thing, brother.
Yeah.
Stop it. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think like up to this point, it was the best card, with matches that all could have been something like, like it's Sean's first like singles run, I believe, first singles run with Tito Santana.
Matador.
The Undertaker,
Yeah.
Jake
Yep.
the Snake was like the promos. I loved them. I loved it, and I think it's like the first time that you see somebody kicking out or getting up from the DDT, which was just ridiculous at the
Back
time.
then, yeah, it was unheard of.
And who else but the Dead Man?
Yep.
Brett wouldn't have kicked out of that.
No, but Brett did have one of the greatest fucking WrestleMania matches ever that year with Roddy Piper.
With Roddy Piper.
That match is, to this day, Taryn knows I'm not a huge Bret Hart fan, and I fucking love that match from beginning to end. What a fucking banger, man.
I think we need to watch that match on one of our YouTube group call sessions.
Yeah,
absolutely, including the before match promo when Mean Gene had, I think it was Piper and Brett face to face.
and
What
Piper
a
is the
fucking, like, I
talking
got
role.
goosebumps now just thinking about what a great promo that
Piper
was.
talking about him like when he was when you were a little boy,
Yeah.
like he's acting
Not
like
today.
so, like
She be
immensely
mine. I'll never forget that shit, man. What a moment that was back
He's
then.
like, you're a little bedwetter, but it's all right, So I mean that I think it's an underrated. That was an underrated WrestleMania.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
The Hogan match it was kind of, the match with Sid was kind of shitty, and the run in with Papa Shango now is infamously, we know now he was super late for it, but it featured the return of the Ultimate Warrior, who had been gone for a while. And I know as a kid, I popped huge for that. I thought he was gone forever. So when he came back, man, I was out of my chair, Great ending for me. But I guess, some things don't hold up over time. You go back and watch WrestleMania 8. And again, like I said, other than 4 or 5 specific moments, it's a little hard to get through. But we're starting to see a pattern with that here.
It's starting to get better, though. I mean, we can go.
Trial and error, boys.
WrestleMania 9 was one of the first videos I had, and I know that it's not the best pay-per-view. I mean, I like the match, like Shawn and Tatanka.
Love it.
But I absolutely love the opening to that, like when they have like Brett and Yoko you know, on both sides of whatever casino building and just looking at each other. That
Yep.
gave me fucking goosebumps, like I am right now.
All right.
Las Vegas,
Quick
Nevada.
side run on this. Since we're talking about Tatanka, does anyone know what Tatanka means?
Buffalo.
Oh, good job. Buffalo. Tatanka. Yes. I thought Kit would get that because it's from Dances with Wolves. That's where I learned it when I was little. Tatanka.
I want to fucking dance.
I just think he was right out of the gate with that one. And then the other, like with WrestleMania 9, it had Bob Backlund and Razor Ramon was a weird match.
Very weird, very strange fucking matchup.
Like I felt like watching that made me feel like Razor didn't want to be near him. Like, you know, like I don't know, something about pasty Bob Backlund.
I love Bob Backlund.
I love Bob Backlund too. But it's still like I just think I don't know. He's just
but it'd be like watching like Bruno Sammartino like nowadays.
Right, exactly.
So, with Bob Backlund, I have a friend that went on cruise number 2 who is close with the cruise captain, and this man refuses to go on another Jericho cruise unless Bob Backlund is on it. It is the most random person, but he's like, no, Bob Backlund only. And I was like, that is fucked, but.
So I went to a convention one time. And Bob Backlund was there. And right as it was getting started, he suddenly fucking sprinted from his booth. This was in the middle of a mall, like on the downstairs fucking floor. And he went up and down the fucking stairs screaming at people who weren't even at the wrestling thing. Like he was just going absolutely bug fuck, dude. And then came back down. I met him a little bit later, and he was the nicest guy. Took like 10 minutes to like tell me all these really inspirational fucking great life things. And then I swear to God, as I walked away, this fucking 70-year-old man locked me up in the crossface chicken wing.
He is like I have my own too. Like when I did extra work at Raw, and like I meet him, you know, and he's telling me like one story after another, and then he was selling me his book, and then he gave me his fucking card, you know, to get the book, and then you know when we were doing this segment where we were partying with the New Day. And Bob Backlund, like you could see it, you could whatever episode it is, pushes everybody out of the way just to cling my glass.
That's fantastic.
It was great, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. So wow.
I don't know if I can handle it.
We will have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to find the footage.
Yeah, you and Bob Backlund in the same frame might do something to the front of my robe. I don't know.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking cool. Like, and even just talking to him, because I mean, we were talking for like close to an hour, like just backstage, you know, or not backstage, like, you know, where the ring is and everything. And I was like, wow, is this what it's gonna be like? You know, and no, it's not gonna be like that. It was only once.
But yeah, I get your friend saying like, unless Bob Backlund's gonna be like that guy, for somebody who I don't think drinks at all or smoke like anything. Like I'm pretty sure he's as straight edge as can be. He's the life of the party, man. Him and Will Ospreay in the same boat would make for nonstop fucking entertainment all day long.
Yeah, he doesn't need to he doesn't need to drink. God forbid if he did.
All right. You have a comment. I believe it's from Big League Leroy. I never did extra work, but I was a gas one time with somebody do extra work in WWE. Leroy, did you pump gas for somebody that worked in WWE? Is that where you're getting at?
I was a gas one time.
Oh, you were a guest for somebody who did extra work.
Oh, like you were backstage there because they let you in.
Did Cody Rhodes ignore you?
I read that as Leroy pumped gas for a WWE extra. That's what I got from it.
Nasty Leroy trained at fucking the Nightmare Factory, so him and Cody they go way back.
Good Lord. Anyways, we're veered way off track. What with Big League Leroy? So back on track. So I believe we are at WrestleMania 10, which is a fucking trendsetter for what would become part of some of the greatest WrestleMania matches in history, which would be the first ever ladder match.
Yep.
And as much
Where
as I hate Shawn Michaels, it's a fucking good match.
very good. And then the story with both of them, was, the realism behind it being like Shawn, who was like fat at the time, was like, I guess, tested positive for like steroids or something. And then they, suspended him or some shit. And then they did like an angle where he's the real champ, and he had to forfeit it. So, it's basically IC champion versus IC champion. And that at the Garden, that they're doing things that, like, I don't think anybody was seeing, the way that they're falling off a fucking ladder. And I always like heard about like the ring at the time, like the WWF ring was not really meant to be bumped on that much. Like they, because it was, they were working, and it was not a lot of back bumps, and obviously that was thrown out the fucking door, but falling from that high, Jesus Christ.
It's a match that still holds up today.
Flair even saying like, Shawn had a match with a ladder, which I think is like the biggest insult ever to Scott Hall.
Well, yeah, but Flair's like a big mark for HBK. Like he always lists HBK as the greatest of all time, so I could see him saying something like that. He's always really over the top. I don't know. That's probably where I get it from. But he saying that he had a match with a ladder, like it made me instantly think though of a few spots where Shawn utilized the ladder in such a way where you can almost say that, like, it was him having a match with a ladder at some points, and it looked really fucking good. But it was Razor Ramon was just as much, if not the image of him holding the two belts up at the end is fucking,
it's iconic.
To me, that's WrestleMania right there. That's a huge, huge iconic moment. And like the fireworks going off and everything, but it's a perfect match, which is rare. I can't really think of one part or one even single second of it that doesn't work or at least fucking progress the story.
Yeah.
And
from the very
beginning was beautiful.
From the very beginning of their entrances, Shawn going around the ladder and then Razor going in under it.
Daring fate.
Yeah.
Underneath the ladder was perfect.
It was beautiful.
Yep.
But yeah. So and then I think
it's just weird because you see ladder matches all the time now, and they'll have spots that are fucking absolutely insane. Spots that put like those spots from WrestleMania 10 to shame. But tell me one ladder match you remember like that, other than like the TLC. You know what I'm saying? Like the WrestleMania 10 ladder match stands out, and you can see parts of it in your mind like so clearly. So
right. I think they just told a great story in that match alone. Whereas like now you're kind of watch a ladder match and they just kind of throw story right out the fucking window. But
another. Go ahead, Kit.
I was just gonna say that that match, as great as it is, they still, anytime there is like a ladder match, they always refer to it still like nonstop. It's never like a, it's like impossible to forget. So anyway, then go ahead.
Another highlight match from that WrestleMania for me personally, we don't need Kit's opinion on this at all, is Brett versus Owen.
Oh yeah.
So maybe
to open the fucking show, like wow.
So actually, you know what? Fuck it, Kit. Do you have any opinions on that? Because I think that is one of because WrestleMania 10 is one of my favorite WrestleManias for that reason. Obviously, the ladder match, but then Brett versus Owen is top tier, right up there with it. With
Owen getting the surprise win.
Yeah. So I really did like that match. I mean, obviously, like they should have, without a doubt, the best. It should be a cheat. They have the best, chemistry, and they work, the brother versus brother thing so well. Owen has always been like a great heel, without a doubt. He's the best, jealous, shitty brother, that
Yeah.
you can have, and I always, I always like that match, like even from the the like Brett's on the ground, and then he like it's when they had that camera like just from the above, and then it's just he like kicks him in the face, or he like wipes his face, and then Brett's just like with that point, like you better, like, I'm just like, oh my god, that's like, it was beautiful.
It's a good match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it's for, especially with somebody like Owen Hart, who can't fucking sell at all because he sucks at it. He did a great job.
Maybe Brett helped him out a little bit with that.
He probably would have hit him for real.
Because I think
I
at the
kicked
end
your
of the
leg
day-
from under your leg, Brett.
I think the moral of the story is Brett is, like the greatest wrestler of all time. And that's probably why Shawn looked good in their matches too, for the most part, except for that time when he fucked Bret Hart over, but whatever.
Well, again,
that's
as somebody who doesn't really, I don't
It's a
really
hot
care
take.
for Bret Hart, obviously, but the end of WrestleMania 10 was cool because I feel like Bret got his redo. WrestleMania 9, he wins the belt. Hogan comes out and fucks him over in fucking 3 seconds flat or whatever I don't even remember what the fuck. It was bullshit. Hogan walks out with the belt when it should have been Bret. And fucking WrestleMania 10, Bret walks out on the shoulders of everybody. Owen standing in the entranceway, all fucking pissed off, mad little brother. Great fucking, that was a great ending. Overall, great pay per view, which, again, not even as a Bret Hart fan, I was a huge, huge, huge fan of that pay per view, and especially when I saw Luger was wrestling Yokozuna earlier, I was like, all right, so he's gonna lose. So
Yeah.
clearly, Bret's gonna get the belt later on. Like I was happy about that. So I thought it was a great pay per view, and definitely, like Taryn said, something that kind of fucking launched us into a new era of WrestleManias.
Yes
Absolutely.
and no. But then you started off with, why are athletes main eventing? Like what are we doing? We're just like circling back 10 years to the fucking celebrity wing of
Right.
fucking wrestling
But-
with athletes. Like what are they doing there?
Right, exactly. And it's like they're going backwards. And then I don't know. It's like, do you not think that your roster is capable enough? And I think this has been brought up before in one of their docs, is that you're like, okay, like I work my ass off. Like say Shawn, for example, like wins, you go from number one in a Royal Rumble, and you're in that fucking match the whole goddamn time. And then you have, it was Lawrence Taylor and Bam. And I mean, I love Bam Bam Bigelow, but Bam Bam Bigelow, I mean, I felt like, that's a feat right there. And then they get the fucking main event Mania.
Yeah, it's some real
Yeah,
bullshit.
it was.
But
And later on, Lawrence Taylor is a rapist,
It was a step backwards from a fan's perspective, but I think now that we know what we know, and seeing what Vince did with the company, and seeing
Yeah.
where it is now being sold, being a public entity, a stock market option, that's what he was trying to achieve the whole time. He
Yeah.
always wanted that mainstream crossover so that WWE wasn't just wrestling. We're lucky we didn't see this whole fucking sports entertainment thing decades earlier because he was pushing for it as early
Right.
as the early 90s. He really, even maybe WrestleMania 1, obviously. I think if he could have done it then,
Oh,
if he had
absolutely.
the foresight, he would have. But this was a good example because it was a step backwards. You got a football player
Yeah.
main eventing the biggest wrestling pay-per-view of the year and winning, which I know Bam Bam was mocked incessantly backstage for years for
Right.
that.
And not only was it just Lawrence Taylor, but like the immense amount of celebrities, it was overdone with how many there were.
That's Vince's fault. That
Right.
was
It
all.
was just
That was
crazy,
all
and
Vince.
which is probably the reason why, after that, it's like these guys don't know anything about wrestling. Like there's not right now. It's almost like a parody of itself is the way I looked at it.
Yeah.
Like every match had something, or every backstage promo, like nothing mattered. It just made it seem like this was all like a Saturday Night Live thing in my head. Which is probably why in WrestleMania 12 they fucking didn't have any. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
they were like, all right, well, enough of that shit. So,
But I wonder too how much of that was like with the swings of wrestling going up and down. Like it mattered how many celebrities wanted to take part, and and if you can't get good ones, I think it's a mentality of don't bring in bad ones just because you can't get good ones.
right.
But WrestleMania 12 did have Goldust and a G-string, which I personally fucking think is
That
one
was
of
with
the.
that was with Roddy Piper, wasn't
They
it?
had the
Yeah, the
backlot brawl,
Hollywood backlot brawl.
the O.J. Simpson style chase down the fucking highway,
Yeah.
which is fucking that's
Yeah, and
wrestling
then
gold, baby.
yep, shades of They Live, like, and then it ending in the ring. I thought it was fucking
Yep.
perfect. I thought it
Yep.
was so awesome.
Yep.
And they, the way that they did that, I thought it was really well done, and that was like the semi-main, to Sean and Brett, where Brett got his ass whipped.
Well, Brett also put on what is maybe, if not the greatest match of WrestleMania history, I'm going to say number 2. I don't know how HBK versus Bret Hart in the Iron Man match is easily. I don't care who you are. It's got to be in your top 3. It's got to be. There's no match like it.
No, there is no match like it. It was so well done. Everything was done perfectly.
An
It is
hour
long.
long.
It's a lot. It's a lot for people to sit and watch. Like it's a movie. It's not like us watching. Brett versus Steve. The next year or whatever. It's like this is like a more of a clinic. Than it is.
Yeah.
Like a spectacle.
True, but I mean, I'm glad you brought up the Austin versus Brett, because that image of Brett with the sharpshooter on Austin and the blood dripping down, that Mania moment.
Oh my god!
That's a WrestleMania moment through and through. And I should have been a little bit more prepared and put my WrestleMania poster up. It was, I think it was from 1 to 21. I think it's like that. It was when I got it out of a WWE magazine. It's huge as fuck, and I still have it. But like that picture's there, and like it's like the first fucking thing you see. You look and you're like, oh god damn! Like that was like primed up. Like we're fucking ready. Change is happening, boys.
Right, and
It
the
was
best
definitely-
part, the best part of that is like Vince didn't want him to bleed or anything like that, and like a submission match, like they turned that submission match around, and like Vince didn't want them to bleed, and Brett's just like no, and then the thing is like it's like how dopey Vince is, you're like, oh no, dude, that was a hard way, and he's like fucking idiot.
And it was the crimson mask, as they say, and like it was the whole face just dripping blood.
Yeah, and that without that, it was needed. It was absolutely needed.
I need to acknowledge one of Leroy's comments here. Tommy Billington and Adam Priest are like the new British Bulldogs, except for Adam Priest is from Alabama or some shit. Which, side note, Leroy, your rat bastard number 1 Adam Priest there. He did let me know he's working in Vegas this year, and if I'm going to be at any shows, let him know. So I thought I'd let you know that your boy Adam Priest is still out here in these streets, Leroy. So I don't know how you feel about that, but
he feels pretty nasty. If I know Leroy.
Leroy hates Adam Priest. At least he used to. He was on the Rat Bastard list, like 101. He was like top 3 for a really long time.
The famous Rat Bastard list. Well, so Bret Austin, and that was WrestleMania 13. That's a good example to me of fucking, again, like that iconic image. And when I think of that WrestleMania, that's what I think of. But then you go back and look at the card, and the rest of it's just pure trash.
Yeah, which
It
at the
just
time,
not good.
I thought it was the
We
best.
also have Rocky Mavia, okay, or Rocky Mavia, or however anybody wants to
Rocky
fucking,
Maivia.
however people pronounce it. Everyone says it a little different, but most people don't realize that was The Rock's first WrestleMania, right? So if you circle back, like it's
Against the
very
Sultan.
interesting. Yeah.
Who was the Sultan again? Isn't that Rikishi?
It was Rikishi. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that. But I thought, and I even kind of still to this day, like I thought that logo for WrestleMania 13 was like the coolest one.
Yeah, it was killer. Yeah.
With that fire and everything.
Yeah.
And it was called WrestleMania at the bottom. It says Heat. Like, you know, and then, I mean, I didn't really care much for the match, but Undertaker and Sid.
I hated it.
Yeah, but Undertaker dressed in the gray.
Gray. Yeah.
I was like, that is so cool. I was so excited about that.
And it's part of the streak, so I guess it's, iconic because of that. But
yeah, but like, the way that if you watch it, like I was watching after Taker wins, after he wins, like the way he celebrates is like not his normal way. Like he was like, like genuinely excited, like a human. And
we don't like that.
I didn't like that at all.
No.
I didn't like that one bit.
We like our dead man.
Yeah, I want him to be dead.
But I mean, so we're on what, 13, 14 now?
13.
That was 13. Yeah, we're on 14 now.
Yeah.
So
we didn't even discuss the Chicago street fight, which was probably one of the worst street fights I've ever seen. It was like a gang war, is how they made it.
Who was in the Chicago street fight? I need a reminder.
It was Nation of Domination. Nation of Domination, LOD, and Ahmed Johnson.
That's why I need a reminder. That's pretty forgettable. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, the way that if you watch like how they get hit with shit and they don't even sell it, like,
oh, I'm sure.
But it was pretty funny.
I actually don't recall a single moment of that match. Honestly, I would have to go back and watch it.
I remember seeing clips of Hawk, like not even acknowledging that he's got hit with like a broom. Or a pipe or some shit.
Pretty good chance he couldn't acknowledge it at that time. I don't think he could acknowledge much really with what we know now, unfortunately. But
yeah, absolutely not.
All right, so
what WrestleMania was that?
14.
13? Oh, 14?
So yeah, 14. One of the, bringing in Mike Tyson was like without a doubt one of the surprisingly, it was like one of the biggest fucking things that WWF ever did.
I was blown away.
Yeah, and like
my favorite boxer of all time.
At the time he's the most, he's at what is the highest he would ever get.
But that's what I'm meaning. But that was, once again, they went back to like WrestleMania 1, bringing in celebrities again, but that also was a start of that weird transitional period into what we now know as the Attitude Era, right?
Exactly. But who has attitude but like, a guy that was literally, biting off Holyfield's fucking ear, because he knew he was losing a match.
I think
now, that's not fucking storytelling right there, but
Mike Tyson, he's been through a lot, guys, okay?
He has definitely been through a fucking lot.
Yeah. But him being involved, I think, was a little bit more different. I mean, it brought a lot in there, but they're focusing all their time on one person, right? One guy is in there, and they're doing it in such a way, like you could see how like Shane McMahon is like watching him, and Shane McMahon is telling him what to do, and then he's working directly with Steve Austin, Shawn, Triple H, and all them, and like there's a lot of guidance for him to not fuck up, And you know, of course, he's doing little things, calling him Cold Stone.
Yeah, Cold Stone Steve Austin was my
Yeah,
favorite. Yeah.
it's so cold, motherfucker. Like, um,
But it was
yeah.
also like him doing the whole fucking joining sides with one and then doing the fucking the turn at Mania. Like that's why I think it worked more than most of the celebrity appearances, because he was a true fan. He wasn't there just like to get a paycheck. He wanted to
Yeah.
take part. He wanted that punch to Shawn Michaels.
Oh my god,
I
it's
still
perfect.
think that looks so fucking good to this day.
Dude, oh my god, I've watched that so many times.
So
Going
many
like,
times.
and I'm just like, there's no way, like that got him right. It had to have clocked him. But I mean, you know, Sean probably at that moment is like,
This,
he's like, just fucking do
yeah,
it.
make it look good. This is going
Just
to be on
fucking do it.
ESPN later.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, you know, I guess just don't break his fucking jaw, but
Yeah.
because God, yeah, that was good. I mean, Sean gave him the best match he could. Like it didn't look like like they kind of went with that. Like Sean could very well just not do it, but he did everything he could to like make it, give him the best, a deserving match.
It was a great match. I think,
I thought it
despite
was a
his
good match.
injuries and his shortcomings, it was a really good match.
Oh, dude, and there are those times where he is, like,
You
he
know he's
does
in
that,
pain.
dude. Like the one where he gets thrown into the corner, he does the little flip. That did not work out for him, and I
No.
was like, "That's it." He just fucking like he isn't gonna
Be
get
like
up,
that sometimes. Be like that.
huh?
I said it'd be like that.
like that.
Yeah, but like even him getting thrown out of the ring, and like Triple H and China are supposed to catch him, and they fucking just don't. like it didn't really work out
See,
for him.
now, other than that, Matt, and this is, again, like what a great moment and a great fucking main event. But other than a couple other things, I thought WrestleMania 14 was not that. I remember Pete Rose getting tombstoned, and I remember fucking Cactus Jack and Terry Funk getting pushed off the fucking stage in a dumpster.
Yeah.
And other than that, like that Mania to me is largely forgettable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The worst rendition of the worst rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, right? Or what was it? Or the
Who sang
national
it?
anthem? That the fucking dude that does the DX. The
The
DX
Chris
thing.
Warren band.
Yeah, that guy.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Butchered the shit out of it. That they cut it out.
I forgot about how bad that was. Probably a good thing.
Like, the Star Spangled Banner isn't really like that good of a national anthem.
Yeah, that's not the Queen's favorite song.
My favorite is also is "O Canada," because especially when Shawn Michaels sings it.
Yeah, with the flag in his nose.
Which version? There's two different versions. I sing the original. Okay.
Yeah, the one on Raw in 2005.
Yeah, how about when I see you in 22 days, I punch you right in the fucking mouth?
Oh,
is that what it is? It's 22 days.
Sure the fuck is.
Oh,
well,
how 21 days for I hate this place.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, we were watching this. We were watching this after this.
Yeah, we were watching me punch you in the fucking mouth. Anyways, moving on.
I love Canada.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, exactly. This man just
like you can get this t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com.
Oh,
and not only can you just get that t-shirt, you can get the brand new TERYNN Show
brand new.
Oh. Brand new TERYNN Show t-shirt that just went on sale this past week.
It did.
Over at prowrestlingtees.com. It's fucking amazing.
Gosh. It is. Because you know why? Like our buddy Dave, who created it.
My back?
Yes.
You are back.
And I understand that was a lot. Which you've been through. Or not just you. We've all been through a lot.
Been through a lot.
And you can also be through a lot when you get our t-shirt at Pro Wrestling.
Oh. It literally says on the back, I've been through a lot. So
yeah.
No, it says
like
we've been through a lot.
We've been through a lot.
These shirt, the highest quality material, the thread count that's higher than me. You got to get one of these motherfuckers. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
Head on over there, prowrestlingtees.com/TDS Get
and
the
it would
TERYNN
look
Show.
perfect on everybody while they're out there in the hot Las Vegas sun. Because you know what? It's not just a typical black T-shirt. It's a little bit different, you know. So
It's got palm
anyway.
trees right on your, right there, square on
right
the
there.
tip,
Wait, where is it again?
right there on the
Right
titties.
there. Did you see that? Oh no.
I didn't.
Dirty Dick didn't see that.
I didn't see that. I was over at onlyfans.com/TLJR90. I was looking at the real thing. But yeah.
Oh God, we should be doing this for a living.
Why aren't we getting paid? Fuck.
They have to buy our merch first. We just do it for the love of the game, you know.
We do it. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start, doing like, like, oh, today's broadcast is brought to you by Duracell batteries.
We're trying. I mean, I'm not saying that like I need a sponsorship or that I want a sponsorship. I'm just saying that every Tuesday night I drink Club
We're
Death.
just like Duracell. We just keep going and going and going.
For WrestleMania
That's the
15.
Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, I know.
That's how I am in bed.
All right. Anyways, WrestleMania 16.
15.
15.
Oh,
Which
sorry.
is
We can skip.
How can
so
you skip it? I have it on my wall. It's in Philadelphia. The first time in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm gonna give the viewers a little backstage look here for a minute. We had TERYNN sending out a little crew note here to myself and Kit saying that we had a whole show planned, and we're still on segment 1.
Well, we went through all of WrestleMania.
We were supposed to touch upon the first 20 WrestleManias and then hit a whole bunch of stuff,
Yeah,
but
we just
instead
did.
we just that's a good example of what we do here on the TERYNN Show. We like to give you part 2, part 3, a couple inches at a time is how we do it.
Yeah, we don't
so,
go full force drive.
We'll bang through these, even though these are kind of the better ones anyway. But WrestleMania 15, first time The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin go back, go one-on-one at WrestleMania. Austin forgets his fucking vest.
Yeah.
Which then he goes to the ring in a t-shirt, which was just like, what the fuck am I looking at? Yeah, and like honestly, that, and then you have the Undertaker with Big Boss Man, which is the funniest thing because Big Boss Man dies in it. And he's hung, like, and
straight up lynching on WrestleMania.
He wrestles the next day in a one-on-one match like nothing fucking happened.
Not even a mark on his neck.
Not even nothing. No broken neck. Didn't have a
hanging
long
from
neck,
the fucking
nothing.
rafters. Oh,
yeah,
man.
he was just hanging from there dead.
And ignore that one segment where his body kind of turns and you can see the full harness behind him. Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
No. Like, I was.
But other than that, the only other memorable moment was
Butterbean. The Undertaker isn't an executioner, He's an Undertaker. He didn't know how to hang somebody.
That was the brawl for it all where Butterbean knocked the fuck out of fucking Bart Gunn and pretty much ended his wrestling career, his life, his fucking face. Like, it was
and Bart Gunn had there was so much promise with him. I thought, I liked Bart Gunn a lot. Also, just like Terrynn's favorite Billy.
TERYNN, Bart, or Billy?
Oh, come on. We already know this.
Billy, hands down. Daddy ass for life.
We've already had long conversations about this.
So long.
But Billy Gunn and Bart Gunn are both underratedly the biggest fucking dudes I've ever fucking seen in my life. And it's weird how I don't understand. Oh, calm down.
Oh, Billy Gunn, he fucking he cranks my crank, I'm fucking here for it.
The hell does that even mean?
I think
what
I know.
What the hell is even that?
I don't want to. Yeah. Bart Gunn, fucking, for people who don't know, really had a chance to make a career out of that. He surprised a lot of people when he knocked out Dr. Death in the what was a shoot tournament at the time. I don't know if people realize, but it was a legit boxing match, like Tough Man style.
Yeah.
And Dr. Death was they wanted him to win. And
Yeah,
Bart
and he
Gunn
ruined
knocked
his
him out.
career on that. Like,
Had
ruined
a
him in
chance to
WWE.
fucking go on and really make a name for himself against Butterbean, and with one punch, Butterbean fucking solidified his WrestleMania moment and kind of fucking made sure we never saw Bart Gunn ever again.
Yeah, and
Ever
the thing
again.
is, though, like in Butterbean's interviews, he's like, dude, are you it's not even a confidence thing. He's like, dude, are you fucking stupid? Like, what? Like, we can make this into a work, you know? And then he's like, no, he's going in on this like all serious. And you're like, well,
Oh,
Bart,
he was
you
a
kinda fucked
legit tough
yourself on
guy.
that.
He had confidence especially after fucking knocking out Jim Ross's boy. Fucking. I don't blame him, man. I mean, he had a good fucking punch.
Yeah,
He
like he
fucking.
got that. He definitely got like um his confidence level was at its highest because this is like the biggest push I think for him ever. You know,
Ever. The only push.
yeah, honestly, like, you know,
And you know what? We're still talking about him, so obviously, fucking win or lose.
Well, I remember I was watching some interview with him, where he definitely like regrets a lot of that shit.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now here's one that I want to ask.
Yeah.
I want to ask Taryn about this one because I know she so WrestleMania 16 was WrestleMania 2000, the famous fucking all day 12-hour, if you wanted it, WrestleMania event. You could order this special pay-per-view they had. It started at noon, I believe it was,
dude,
and ran until midnight. And it was, I'm not joking you, it was WrestleMania all fucking
on pay-per-view.
day.
My uncle, I was at my uncle's place, and he had pay-per-view, you know, to be able to watch it. He had a barbecue. I was in there. It was in. He only had it in his bedroom. I was in his bedroom from the fucking moment I got there. I got food, and then I snuck back in, and I watched that whole fucking the lot of it, like everything leading into it, and I didn't want to leave, and I was really pissed off when I had to leave. But it was like a whole day of like backstage everything. It was probably one of like the first times in which I'm like watching like anything, behind the scenes type of shit, and I'm like loving the fuck out of it.
Now, Taryn, this was the year 2000. This was Y2K, the turn of the millennium. Everybody fucking remembers where they were. This Mania, which I'm going to give my personal opinion in a second, but I know you remember this one. I know you saw it. What did you think of this one?
So, here is a real fun fact. I actually never watched any WrestleManias until 2004. I watched after 2003. I started like getting more and more into wrestling, but I was never allowed to have the pay-per-views.
Okay.
Because little girls don't watch wrestling and they don't go to wrestling. And then it just got to a point at 2004 where it's like, okay, go shovel the fucking driveway, I'll rent it, because it was just like up their ass. So I never actually watched that until I was a teenager.
Okay.
I didn't watch it
so you didn't get to experience the 12-hour fucking smorgasbord that was WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, McMahon in every corner.
That was the main event.
I've watched it back, obviously, and I love it. That was a turning point for the Attitude Era, and it was going down like, let's fucking go, which created the WWE that I full-blown fell in love with and became obsessed with. Like, it was most people, I was obsessed. Like, I was a little girl, and I became obsessed with it. I would come home, so for me, Raw was on from 7 to 9 versus you guys. It was 9 to 11, right? So mine was like prime time. You ate supper. You fucking turned on wrestling. If mom was a little slow in the kitchen being a lazy bitch, fuck, you're eating dinner in the living room here, boys. Fucking me and my dad for a little fucking TV trays, just watching wrestling, eat. I was 13 years old at that point. I was like, or if you made me sit at the fucking kitchen table, I'd just like, and then you'd have it on in the living room, so I'd pick the seat where you could fucking see the TV from my seat, so I could watch it. It became a full blown obsession at that point. So I watched it all back as as a young teenager. Like I was what, 13, 12,
Yeah.
13. So I didn't get to experience it the way you guys would have because little girls don't watch wrestling.
So for me, 2000, I was 18 years old. This is the year I graduated. I was a fucking mess. I had already been addicted to cocaine, fucking
Wow.
He was
like
going to New York
raging
City to the clinics.
raging alcoholic. Fucking I was a mess. But this WrestleMania, I had just I was getting ready to graduate. The whole world at my fucking doorstep. And I remember me and my friend Chris, like we could not wait, man. Like 12 back then, like 12 hours of wrestling was unheard of. It's not like today where you can fucking turn it on streaming whenever the fuck you want and watch as much as you want forever. 12 hours. So, and I knew they were going to go back and cover like the hit. And I'm a huge history buff with wrestling. So for me, it was the perfect day. And I still have like very fond memories of spending that entire day just fucking smoking it up with my buddy and fucking snacks and fucking what a good time, man. The worst part about it was probably WrestleMania itself because it ended up being like it just was such a letdown. Like for me personally,
It was
I
a
was
little
so hyped for
lackluster.
it. I had such a good time all day that I guess it just didn't live up to my expectations. And other than, well, the main event was kind of cool for me because I'm a huge Mick Foley fan, and I was positive he was going to walk away with just the way they worked it into it. I was really rooting for Mick. But other than that, it's one of the worst main events of WrestleMania of all time. It's really bad. It was really not good. I love Big Show. Not a Big Show wrestling fan. Could have done without. But other than that, the only other match that I cared about was what ended up being the first TLC match. That's the only thing from 2000 that I really. It was the Hardy Boys and
the
Dudleys and
Intercontinental Championship, the one with Chris. It was a triple threat. Chris Benoit, or I mean, Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho,
Regal,
Chris,
and
it was like the best. The first fall was the Intercontinental Championship, and the second one's the European.
Yeah.
And
Which
what's his
I would have
face
thought it would have
lost.
been better if it was the opposite, but
But didn't he lose the belts without losing a single time or something like that? Like
Yeah.
fucking
yeah,
each guy got like Jericho won one and Benoit won one, but
Yep.
or was that the way it
Yeah.
was? And Regal lost. Oh, we must have hit an hour, huh? Because we're cutting out.
We hit an hour and 18 minutes, boys, and we're still on.
Whatever. It's
We're almost
WrestleMania.
there. We're almost
WrestleMania
there.
goes for 9 hours. Let's fucking get a few extra minutes out of the fucking TERYNN show.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're at WrestleMania 16, and we're about to be at 17, which is probably one of the best WrestleManias.
Oh, without a doubt.
With the best promo, best hype video for a main event ever, in my opinion. With one of the, which I don't even understand if they're not in the Hall of Fame, but like we have Dennis Rodman going in. You have fucking stupid ass Kid Rock, but why are
fucking
we
Drew Carey?
Have Drew Carey? I know I was there for it, but why not Limp Bizkit?
We do love Limp Bizkit around here at the TERYNN show.
Old Dirty Dick's never limp is all I'm gonna say.
But WrestleMania 17 is probably, I want to say, is probably my most watched all the way through Mania.
Not for me personally.
Not me either, but it's got one of my favorite matches of all time, and that's Kurt Angle against Chris Benoit.
That was a fantastic match.
I can't, like, to me, that is, if you like pro wrestling, and I'm going to specifically mention pro wrestling over sports entertainment, and that is the art of Greco-Roman catch as catch can, actual sequence fucking amateur wrestling, I don't know if you're going to get any better than Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit.
In a technical standpoint, absolutely. You can't at this
I
Even the
get that, like,
main
Benoit
event.
wasn't a promo guy, no charisma, whatever, but come on now. Like,
That's the same thing with Bret Hart, though. He wasn't,
right.
and that's why Bret and Shawn did so well. Shawn was a promo guy, Bret was a wrestler. So it worked out well. Yeah, Benoit could not cut a promo for his fucking life, but his in-ring skills made up for that, I
Top
think,
notch.
in my opinion.
Top notch.
Yeah.
And to match him up with Kurt Angle, who I consider, again, because I got into wrestling for wrestling and I watch wrestling for wrestling.
Yeah.
I consider Kurt Angle one of the greatest of all time. So to put him in there with Chris Benoit, to me, that is, if you're going to go back and watch WrestleMania 17, watch it for that match alone. And you will see something that you will never see today because they can't do it.
Yeah, nobody can. Oh, not the Bacardi Gold.
Listen, I'm getting lit up. The after party, just for the folks who don't know, if you haven't been to one, it's about due time you come see where the fucking shit gets really wild. But WrestleMania 17 also had fucking one of my favorite. I'm sorry, but this whole storyline with Vince McMahon
And Shane.
And Shane.
His wife Linda being like drugged into a comatose to the point where
In the
like
wheelchair?
And he's like having
him and
sex with
Trish were like
Travis.
banging in front of her, dude, and fucking she's just fucking. I couldn't, and then so you get her to Mania, and they have the match. The match is actually fucking halfway decent. Vince drags this lifeless comatose bitch into the fucking ring, so that she can like watch him beat up their son, and then she springs back to life like the fucking Incredible Hulk and fucking nut shots McMahon. Shane hits the fucking coast to coast, which by the way was the first time that was hit in a WWE. RVD invented that move, and Shane kind of. Everybody
Yeah,
thinks
he didn't get a
that's
chance
Shane's
to do it
move,
because
but
he wasn't there until.
that was the first time that was hit, and what a fucking, like him or not, folks. That's why McMahon was successful. That storyline was hilarious. It was entertaining. It had a beginning, a middle, and an end that satisfied every single. I don't give a fuck who you are. You go back and watch that now, and it still holds up as long as you aren't a uptight fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, not for nothing, the second best match on that card was the Gimmick Battle Royal.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that was really great. Even just like with the commentary.
Mean Gene and Bobby Heenan.
Yeah. Which,
holy
by
fuck.
the way, to go back, WrestleMania 15 in Philly, that was the last time Gorilla Monsoon was ever, at a live, or he was ever at an event, like his last WWF thing ever before he died.
Is that the one where they showed him in the crowd and fucking he looked kind of like sickly?
I thought he was like a a judge or something like that.
All right.
In the I don't know. But anyway,
That's sad.
like that, but that Gimmick Battle Royal, there's Duke the Dumpster Drozy in there.
Child molester.
Yep. God.
We don't like child molesters, folks, and we don't like Duke.
There's a real trend in the wrestling industry with the molesters of, maybe down the road we'll do a deep dive into the extra dark side of fucking.
What do you think? Is it too much time on the road, you think, or is it like a power trip thing?
It's like it's probably just like how with like priests and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is a dark side of the ring, but they don't really touch upon that aspect.
Yeah, that's the shadowy part of the dark side. Yeah,
called the advanced darkness side of the ring or something like that.
The darkest side of the fucking ring.
The darkest side of the ring.
Holy Christ! But
it also had
the main event. Did we even talk about that?
It was Rock Austin too, right?
Yeah,
fucking rights, brother.
It was the best promo.
Icon versus fucking ever. Icon.
Yeah.
The biggest thing. And that's the craziest part because I watched wrestling, but I wasn't allowed to watch WrestleMania. They would buy it for me. They said $60, that's too much dollar.
I mean, it is. It is fucking an absurd amount, which I couldn't even I right now, that sounds ridiculous. I'd rather just go to it. I mean, well,
folks, I haven't paid for a pay-per-view in about 15 years. If you need the hookup, hit up old Dirty Dick in the fucking direct messages. I got your link.
And this is not
I know the
endorsed
cable
by
guy.
the TERYNN Show. Whatever Dirty Dick Rick does on
Yeah,
his
yeah.
pay-per-views, we do not do that here on the TERYNN Show.
Everybody else
do not
supports and
condone, we
pays.
do not condone this kind of thievery.
Yep, I only watch
However,
paid for
there'll be a link in the
pay-per-views at
bio.
this
Well, no,
point, not the but, you know? But the Rock and Austin,
I ain't got that Daddy Rick money is all I'm saying.
yeah,
because he doesn't acknowledge you as a child.
he doesn't really acknowledge much anymore. But
Other than
yeah,
shitting
that
his
main
pants.
event was
Shit in his
amazing.
pants.
I think that Steve had said that, you know, if he went back, you know, because I guess he didn't get the reaction that he thought he wanted, or at least he didn't think that he got it. But like, I think him siding with Vince McMahon was one of the fucking, like,
I loved
blew
it.
my fucking mind, you know.
Yep.
And Steve was like, he kind of had that creative control, I guess, where like if he really wanted to, he could have done that to be a heel. And I mean, dude, the way that he beat The Rock and Rock keeps kicking out, and then he's hitting him 8 trillion times with the fucking chair, and the way that he hits him with the chair is just like, Jesus Christ.
Well, Austin had a hard time being. He tried being a heel with the fucking invasion angle with the whole
I know.
WCW, and
He was
just the
just funny.
crowd. He was supposed to be the leader of the invasion angle, and just the crowd never turned on him. You can't. They just continued to cheer him.
They sort of did a little.
Nah, they wanted to cheer him the whole time.
Because he was fucking too funny.
He's the
He's
best.
just too
Yeah,
goddamn funny. Like, you know, like you see all those things, like him trying to like make Taker, you know, crumble, and he's just like just
That
repeating
one backstage promo where they're all fucking
repeating
standing.
everything
Yeah.
from Vince. Rip them apart.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we can all unanimously agree 17 is one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
so Austin and Rock had 3 meetings. Do we agree that maybe this one is the best out of the 3?
It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed. Like their
Yeah.
And while
chemistry,
maybe
their
not like
chemistry their chemistry at this point was paramount because one, they're seeing each other every single day. I mean, like 1999 was like, you know, that was like the beginning. I feel like the beginning stage of they really know who they are. The Rock certainly is just realizing who the fuck he is in 1999. 2001, he is beyond, you know, settled into, you know, who The Rock is. And Steve Austin is, you know, obviously extremely seasoned already at that point. And their chemistry and the way that they've worked, you know, is unbelievable. And then 2 years later, which we'll get to, 2 years later, you know, it's like there's a little bit of a jump, you know, and the jump is like, you know, it seems like Steve kind of going through it, you know, with whatever the fuck he was dealing with, and then The Rock kind of transitioning, you know, into more of a movie star and then coming back and shit like that.
But
You
this
know,
was
almost not
the
taking it as
time
serious.
that WWE found themselves in the unique position of having that infamous top spot being shared by 2
Yeah.
guys who could fill almost every fucking want and need that they, whether it was merch, ratings, fucking whatever it is that they needed. These 2 guys had it covered, and it's the first
Yeah.
time you used to have Hulk Hogan, you know, or just one guy. Now you had HBK. Now you have Stone Cold and The Rock.
Right.
And it worked out so fucking well.
And
Yeah,
not close,
2
and
very
not close
different guys.
behind, and not close behind. Yeah, very different.
Very
and not
different.
close behind, you have Triple H, and then you have almost everybody, you know, everybody from that Attitude Era, all stepping it up. You know, they're not like, you know, there's Steve, there's The Rock, there's Triple H that's kind of getting it. You know, he's right there. You know, you have Taker, who is the, you know, that he is the you know, the judge and jury essentially.
Absolutely.
And then you know, not like it wasn't some fucking Red Sea you know, apart. Like they were right there with them, like guys like Billy Gunn, you know, then
But the thing
Hardys
is,
and everything like that.
yeah, well, exactly. And everybody forgets about like the tag team aspect of it. Yes, back in the early WrestleManias, tag team matches happened. But those 3 sets of fucking tag teams elevated it for the future. They
Yeah.
brought something that will never ever be recreated.
To the
And
point
they-
where they named a pay-per-view after it.
Yeah, those 3 groups put tag
Yeah.
team wrestling on the map going forward in any promotion.
And still to this day have
Absolutely.
not been topped by anybody.
Yeah, like I mean, the shit that they were doing in that match is still fucking like I think you look at that and you learn from things like that, going, hey, don't do that, and then of course they do it in like GCW, but like but you're like, hey, we can learn from this and
Yeah, but
not do
I mean,
ever again.
taking it into GCW, they take it to a different level of extreme. It's not this. It's the
It's
same.
not the same.
It's
No,
not
no,
the
no,
same
not
at
at
all.
all.
Like it's like those boys went in there. I don't. Was there even blood in those matches? Maybe a
no.
little bit.
Yeah,
Like,
but they didn't.
thinking
They didn't.
back.
There was no gigging or anything like that.
Yeah,
Right,
so
yeah.
thinking back, they didn't need to add that extra element. They were the entertainment. They didn't need to do any of that shit. They did what they did. They didn't need color at all.
No.
So
But yeah, they that match alone fucking outrageous.
well,
Um,
so take WrestleMania 17, that was TLC number 2.
Yep.
So then
right, because the
going
first one
into,
was 2000.
going into 18, you have Edge in a singles match against Booker T. He's coming hot off WrestleMania last year into a singles match, something completely different than he's ever used to on the biggest stage of them all. And
Right.
guess what? He still fucking killed it too. You had RVD and William Regal, for Christ's sakes, for the Intercontinental, which those two together is like fucked up if you think about it. Like that's two.
It
not
seems
something
like a
that-
weird
it's not something
matchup.
You would think not something you would think that you would enjoy.
But it was a
Like,
good match, and it was RVD's first, I think, IC title win too. So
you had Undertaker versus Dirty Dick's father, Rick.
fuck yeah.
Yeah. And that
I'm still
match
pissed off about that one.
That match was awesome.
It was
and
iconic.
really, yeah, I mean that was the start of Ric Flair,
The
realizing
retirement
that he can still do it. It's like, no, this time you can't wear a t-shirt, you dumb bitch. Like,
It was tough to watch at first because I was so nervous that I was like, man, I don't know if he can going into a WrestleMania with the Taker at that time. The streak was so established that you almost knew that he was gonna lose, Flair was gonna lose. But there was that small it's Ric Flair. Maybe he's the guy to fucking pull it off. So. But you also wonder, can he do it at this age? I didn't think it was going to be a good match, man, and I still enjoy watching it to this day. And I'm not the biggest Taker fan.
I do too.
I think it's really well done.
Yeah.
However,
I mean,
we were also. This is another WrestleMania in Toronto, in the whole country of Canada. So you have fucking Edge in a match. You have Chris Jericho in a match. You have the fucking fatal 4-way for the women's title. And that image of Trish Stratus coming out in the maple leaf on her ass with the flag and shit. Holy Christ. You guys
I do remember that.
So much? I'm
I
like,
recall.
holy
I
fuck,
recall.
that's my hero right there. Like that.
I see her ass very clearly
mm-hmm.
in my mind.
So,
not a Trish fan, but a huge fan of her ass.
And a completely different type of four corners tag team match. You got Billy and Chuck.
and APA.
APA, and you got
Billy and Chuck
Boys.
were such a great fucking
Oh my
underrated.
God. Absolutely.
Wow. I still
And
hear
then-
that theme song in my head, so I'm not gonna sing it for you. Y'all don't deserve it. Maybe in the after party, but
Oh God. But yeah, I mean, you got
the main event, Rock versus Hogan, and the fucking crowd carried hard for that match.
I don't. Wait a minute.
I don't think that was the main event.
That wasn't the main event. That was.
It was like the
Triple H and, your buddy
Jericho.
CJ.
You know what? Let's be real. As much
I
as
mean-
we all know that I love Chris Jericho,
And then the semi-main was Jazz versus Jazz versus Trish Stratus
in our
versus
minds,
Lita.
in our minds at a WrestleMania, how was Hogan versus Rock Passing of the torch, not the fucking main event, okay?
It had to be hard to follow up that match. Like I felt bad enough for Jazz and Trish and Lita, which by the
Yeah.
way is one of my favorite women's matches, not just of WrestleMania, but of all time. I did not think Jazz was going over, and I love Jazz. One of the best female talents ever.
Oh
To see
yeah.
her in a
She
ring with
fucking does
Lita
look
and
great.
Trish, you think she'd be the last one to go over in that match. But
Can you imagine? You're like, all right, so all right, Jazz, Trish, Lita, you guys are gonna be semi-main.
yeah, you're
You're gonna be
before
right
the main
after. You're
event,
gonna be right
but
after The Rock and Hulk Hogan.
yeah, holy fuck, the pressure, man. Like
That was a great
Jericho and
angle.
Triple H must have had a hard enough time, but those ladies, I felt so bad for having to follow that up.
Yeah.
The crowd kicked out all their energy in that one fucking.
Yeah,
I mean, they were
went
still
hard
okay
as
for the
fuck.
last two, but
So, I mean,
you could
but
stop watching that Mania at Hogan versus The
Yeah,
Rock,
you could.
and it would be okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
well, and that's the thing. How 18 years later they're still trial and erroring. Who fucking made that call? What dummy made that call to not put Rock Hogan as the main?
That
Whoever
was
did
the
that,
era of the world title.
Here's the thing. The world title is
The
what
world title.
is always the finish, or is always the
Okay.
main. But like, I think the first time was it not Shawn and Taker for, the
The
Street
retirement.
First career, right?
Yeah, I can't remember which one was like the first time, but Kit's right though. For a while, just because of the business, the world title took precedence. Nowadays,
for
you switch it
sure.
around and Rock Hogan main events all day long. The world title
Oh,
opens up
yeah,
the
without a
goddamn
doubt.
show.
Oh God, without a
But
doubt.
like,
I-
but like this day and age, who is the world fucking champion at this point? I don't know. Who's the world champion current day?
Chris Jericho. Oh, right now? Oh, I don't
Right
know.
now.
In WWE, it's fucking
Does the world title even
Oh,
exist?
it's
no.
WWE
Cody
is CM
Rhodes
Punk.
and somebody.
CM
Isn't
Punk,
it
I think.
fucking?
Oh, CM Punk, yeah.
Oh God. Well, that's lost all meaning now, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, I
Christ.
know. You don't I love CM
Look,
Punk. I know
let's
you
just
don't,
put it
but-
on the biggest dirtbag in the fucking biz. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Mark my words.
I think there's bigger
will
dirtbags than
not-
CM Punk.
I will not go to WrestleMania this year just based on
There's
I
just not as
fucking
many
hate
as
CM
opinionated.
Punk.
You know where I am
CM
going? I'm going to that New Fear City show starring fucking Kid Osborne. That's where I'm going to be going to Vegas
That's so
this year.
crazy. That's the only wrestling show I have on my docket.
One of the
Now
only ones I'm guaranteed to go to, folks. You
Now
want to
that I
meet up with Taryn?
officially
That'll be
talk
at the
about
dive bar.
going to Las Vegas, the dive bar, April 18th at 11 p.m., New Fear City. We can watch our co-host, Kid Osborne, in the ring.
Well, no ring.
I'll be wearing an extra loose
Okay.
robe so I can maybe jacket underneath while I'm watching.
So, anyways,
WrestleMania 19.
Yep. No, we're just going right to it.
WrestleMania 19, which I thought is like one of the coolest looking stadiums where they had it. And that's where is that where the Houston Astros play?
Shady
Yeah,
C,
Astrodome, is that what it
And they
was?
have like a
Shady,
giant
get
train.
comments and correct us now. Thank you.
I actually thought WrestleMania 19 was one of the better ones too. I really
loved
enjoyed.
WrestleMania 19. I thought that the Undertaker match sucked. I mean, like that it was stupid. It's like A-Train.
Who did he fight that year?
Big Show and
A-Train,
A-Train.
and like
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, that was maybe one of the low lights.
I'm like, is this one of his off? Is this like are
No.
you giving him the night off or something?
But that one had, even though I don't really care for Hulk Hogan, it had the Hulk Hogan Vince McMahon street fight
that match
or whatever the
was
fuck it
kinda fun
was,
to
which was
watch.
like that's decade. It was. I mean, it's hard to watch, but it's decades in the make. Like you finally get to see Hulk Hogan get his hands on Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Like that, just for
Hulk
that.
Hogan probably had his hands on Vince McMahon another way for all them years.
Oh
ago.
yeah, like mouth hugs and butt hugs. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But it wasn't the worst. The worst match. I thought one of the best matches of all time was on that Jericho against HBK.
Yeah, it was amazing, and
I
like
can watch that match today still from front to end, and
like their build up was always so great, like it was perfectly done where like it's like a jealous kind of like Owen and Brett type of thing, like a jealous brother, except obviously not, but he grew up like idolizing this guy,
which was it was real. They put real life into a storyline, which worked out so fucking well.
And he's him getting jealous, and then like you
people
start
comparing
seeing,
him to
HBK. The resentment that you start to understand, and then it's just they're both their promo work together was perfect, paramount. So
and then he punched his wife in the mouth for real.
Well,
and
that was years later.
It was a few years later. That's when Jericho
7
threw his
years
wife
later.
into the
I
Jericho
know.
5000.
Yeah.
He's responsible for the eye too, also, right? Jericho?
Yeah, not Kane.
Yeah. I remember that.
But Sean's entrance, like even their focus on like Sean's entrance versus Chris Jericho's, and like Chris Jericho's like jealous of how much more of a spectacle it is, how crazier it is with the gun confetti thing, and even if it didn't work, it still worked for him,
And as a fan, I was very excited because I grew up loving really both Shawn Michaels first, but then I was a huge Jericho fan from the early 90s on too. So really growing up loving them both and seeing the comparison over the years, Jericho almost being a young HBK. Oh, what happened?
Yeah, you're good.
Seeing them square off fucking was a dream come true for me, and it was a dream match and it delivered. The only thing I didn't like at the time was the ending, but now I can look back as an adult and say, okay,
Yeah,
it made sense to the character, it made sense to the storyline. It's a good ending, but
yeah, absolutely.
I wanted them to shake hands and have that happy, like fucking like the good ending where they both, kind
Well, I'm
of.
glad they didn't, because then it also resulted in another, and if not one, an almost just as good match on Raw.
Right. Yeah, in what, 2005?
Yep.
So
no, 2000, like literally like either the next fucking day or like a week later.
Oh, I was thinking like fast forward. Or
their matches in 2008 were even better. They were even fucking better.
And that's what wrestling is missing.
The storytelling then was for them. I mean, like it was even better. Like everything, Sean being back at this time was more of like, he's in the swing of things. Like, I mean, even like the way that JR would describe him from 2002 to this point, 2004, was still like, or not even just JR, but Jerry Lawler talking about it, like, are we getting HBK, or are we just getting Shawn Michaels, and shit like that. And then now, come 2008, he's so like throw that shit out the door,
True. All right. So I believe the main on that was Kurt versus Lesnar, which I give a fuck about that. So let's just skip on to the greatest WrestleMania.
Before we skip, I gotta say,
we need to talk about the last match ever for what would then be I got 15 fucking years, like, or Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock.
Yes, that was the last Austin Rock.
The last match Austin had.
Wasn't it like before the main event? Before.
Yes, it was.
Because Angle and Lesnar was the main event, and right before that was Austin Rock, which is insane. But I understand. Again, with the world title going last, I understand it. But imagine having to follow up Austin Rock 3 with the fucking knowing it's the last time they're gonna fight.
Yeah, and it's Austin's last match for 19 fucking years. And not only that, he thought he was gonna have a fucking heart attack. He has like an anxiety attack, and he's also like, he's like basically he's just like, yeah, I was just drinking like 4 or 5 fucking energy drinks, like, which then is what, Stacker 2.
It was Monsters. He had
He
it
didn't
was
even
it was
have
Monster
Monster
energy
then.
drinks that he almost had a heart attack on. I remember that.
He didn't even have Monster then. It was like
I'm
Stacker.
telling you,
I thought it would have been Stacker 2.
Stacker
which
2 was their
WrestleMania is
sponsor.
brought by.
Oh God, I have not heard that in a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a Stacker 2. Is anybody here in the?
I have had several. Yeah, they're not good. They tasted like fucking lemon death.
Like Four Locos?
It was like floor cleaner, dude. Like it was not good. I'd take Four Loco over fucking Stacker 2.
God damn.
And I hate Four Locos.
But yeah, that match was obviously very good. It was the first time that The Rock won against Steve.
It was the passing of the torch.
Yeah, even though nobody wanted The Rock to win against Hogan.
No, Rock was already gone at that point. He was already a Hollywood star, like trying to fucking like leave wrestling. So
yeah, but I mean, who better to? I mean, they did do like some good things, like in that match. I mean, it was. You didn't know. I mean, I guess you didn't know who was going to win. I guess you kind of do, but you also had no idea that this was going to be Steve's last match at any point. Which, technically, I guess it isn't, because he did have a match against
Kevin Owens.
No. Like a year later, if not even a year later, against Eric Bischoff, where he whips the fuck out of him.
That's true. All right, we're sitting at 146. So let's
All right,
move
we got
on
one
to
more.
the greatest WrestleMania of all fucking time, boys. WrestleMania 20.
Yep. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H versus fucking nobody.
Versus the Invisible Man, who's taking on the same guy taking on Sandman this year at Spring Break.
Yeah.
But I mean,
what if he gets a CrossFit? All right.
Yeah, too far. So I mean, we started that one off with what, a shitty fatal 4-way, or like it was a fucking ass tag team match with La Resistance and fucking Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas, Jamie Noble, I believe, was it? I have to think. No, it was Tornado.
I was literally there front row, and I can't remember all the participants, but it wasn't that bad of a match considering like. It was a throw together match. It was let's get these guys on the card and fill up a spot match.
Yeah, it
wasn't that bad.
The dark matches and like the fucking pre-show. It was like, yeah, this is your pre-show, but it's a pay-per-view, boys. You're gonna fucking watch it. But I remember La Resistance, and I remember I think Billy and Chuck were in it, honestly.
I cannot for the life of me remember
the
exact. I remember the other there was 2 fatal 4-way tag team matches. One had Booker T and Rob Van Dam for the titles against a bunch of other teams, and then there's the one that you're talking about.
There's Rob Van Dam and Booker T were the champions.
No. So Carlos and Jamal are saying Cena and Big Show opened up the pay-per-view.
Yeah, they did.
Oh yeah,
it was John Cena's first time.
Technically,
first title win.
But the actual pay-per-view, there was those shitty 4-ways and stuff.
Sunday Night Heat.
There was shitty stuff beforehand. But yes, Cena and the Big Show did in fact open that WrestleMania in title belt defenses for sure. Yeah. But there was other shitty stuff involved. I know there was.
Well, so obviously it holds a special place to me. It's the only Mania that I've actually been to. I was front row on the aisle, right where they fucking walk out to the ring. So I had fantastic fucking seats. Dream come true. I obviously look at it with a special fucking, with those rose-colored glasses or whatever. Even the matches that were bad to me were good, but they had so many matches. It was like 4 hours long, and I know people complain today about like the AEW pay-per-views being so long and they drag. I can remember specifically this pay-per-view from beginning to end. The crowd was insane. And you just said Brock Lesnar and fucking Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.
So
Let's talk about Bill Goldberg.
One of the only times, and I just got him again, just thinking about it. The very first time I ever got goosebumps from wrestling was sitting there, and the crowd was fucking just going. I mean, we all remember they were going ballistic, and I was just overwhelmed. I just looked around Madison Square Garden, man, at this crowd, fucking rabid, fucking taking over this match, and again, goosebumps, dude, like fucking. The crowd took over and hijacked the entire thing from front to start. Stone Cold was the only focal. All they cared about was what Stone Cold was going to do. They just wanted Brock and fucking Goldberg to lose and leave.
Dude, they wanted, or Steve Austin brought it up. He was saying like how he was like, at one point I thought, what if I just started running the ropes? Like
he was so over just like riding his fucking 4-wheeler down there. Like he could have done whatever he wanted, and he was God that night. Oh man. But it was one of those rare times before the internet wrestling community and all this shit we have today, before you could find out spoilers. The crowd knew that Goldberg was leaving that night, that Lesnar was leaving that night. It was the last match.
Thank God for that. Thank God for those years without neither of those two fucking dummies. Okay? Thank God. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorite WrestleMania 20 matches because good riddance. Okay?
Yeah.
And now I'm circling back to that fucking opener match because I'm going to do the thing that I do best. And my favorite match, other than the Benoit one, is the fucking little opening rap from our good pal at the TERYNN Show, John Cena, because I know this shit word for word, and I'm really proud of it, okay?
I've seen it.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah, so somebody just like can't just start me off. I can't just start doing it on my own.
With a 3, 2,
a 2,
1.
A 1.
You got the franchise player on the Super Bowl stage. So get that gorilla Big Show out of his cage. Ain't no way that I'm going to lose to that King Kong ripoff. It's like that Gary Cole beating Patrick Ewing in a tip-off. Big Show's really an ape with opposable thumbs. He stuffs his singlet. Looks like he's smuggling plums. Yo, everybody knows that he can't see me. I'm itching to beat him like a penis with a STD. I'm not even wrestling the Big Show. This whole thing's a charade. My match is with the hippo float from the Macy's parade. So it's time to get a championship to match these custom nuts. Madison Square, chant it loud, baby. Big Show sucks.
And we did. That was the only other time that night, other than when the Goldberg, Lesnar, and Benoit at the end, John Cena got the biggest pop of the night. When he did that rap and when he won that title, I thought it's a cliche saying, but now I understand it. I thought the roof was going to come off that place, man. Holy fuck. What a pop. And that was the start. That was before he was world champion, before he was...
Yeah, this is his first title win.
Yep.
Yeah, and then followed by that are like, you had Rob Van Dam, Booker T, Dudley Boys.
It was all right. It wasn't like it was what you expected to be.
Resistance.
Yeah.
So another actual really good match that I think does get overlooked at WrestleMania 20 was the Christian Jericho match with Trish
One of my
Stratus
favorites.
coming out for Jericho and then turning into her leading into her fucking the bitch is back.
Yep.
For years she was a heel and she still does it the way she did it fucking 22 years ago.
That double smack, like fucking the way she hit that.
Yeah, exactly. And right then I was like, ooh, like I always loved Trish Stratus, but when she did that, even though it was Chris Jericho, I was like, ooh, that's who I want to be when I grow up, you know?
Yep. Everybody knows how much I hate Trish, and I was like, wow, that was fucking amazing, dude. Like, what a fucking what a moment.
And we don't see shit like that at WrestleMania anymore.
No.
For Christ's sakes. When we go next week, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, next week we're doing 21 to 41. Maybe we don't take 2 hours to do it.
We won't take as long as.
No, we're gonna.
But there was
some
the script.
There
were some turns and stuff during the early fucking 2000 or
My
later.
notes are
2000
literally.
Mania.
I mean,
But you know,
um,
without a doubt, WrestleMania 20 is fucking lit. We don't even need to talk about the main event to know that it was lit. But fuck Undertaker versus Kane, brother versus brother.
well,
That match was
so I
boring.
was excited because
of course, you don't fucking care.
It was
not
I think
being, I
boring.
that's
wasn't a
awesome.
huge Taker fan, and I really don't like Kane, but
But it
I
was
knew
Undertaker was
Taker.
back.
It was Taker coming back as the dead man,
Yeah.
dropping
except
the
for he should have
fucking,
stayed where he was.
and
Not
it was
on
really,
you.
it was such a fucking, like, for me personally, not being a Taker fan, it was such a moment watching him walk out with those druids and the fire, and like, to see it live
And then Paul
is
Bear,
a
there. It's
spectacle. It's a
yeah.
spectacle.
And that
You
I do.
sometimes you can't really get the feeling watching it on TV, and that's why I feel like WrestleMania 20. I can watch that over and over and over again and never get tired of it, and I feel a certain way because I'm instantly transported back to that moment where I'm seeing it, live. And so something like that, Taker versus Kane, a match I would normally never care about, I'm marking the fuck over because wow, what a moment, you know.
Yeah.
But
Um,
Eddie
I want to
Guerrero.
know Kit.
Oh,
I want to know Kit's take on the Undertaker match.
on
we
that
know.
match, I mean, like how
Yeah.
I'm literally the same thing. It was him coming back as the dead man, which is something I've wanted to see forever. I mean, now I'm 14 or whatever. So I mean, oh, okay.
Oh, little baby Bozo, our mascot, said she don't care about the Undertaker. It's her turn to shine.
She is Baby Bozo should have her own show. And if it was just an hour of her staring into the camera, I'd watch it every day.
Yeah, because it's a human.
Kid's convinced that she's a skinwalker, folks. I don't know.
Yeah, and if she had her own show, I bet you that, she would actually start talking, freaking everybody out.
But yes, anyways, she said, enough Undertaker. We don't talk about that in this house. Eddie versus Kurt.
Yeah, match was amazing, and how Carlos had said it perfectly. The main event was so amazing, that it almost like I forgot how good Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle was, and that match was fucking wild.
Not just a phenomenal match, but a super unique ending. I think I saw it recently reproduced on WWE, actually, where they did the whole fucking slip out of the boot before they hit the fucking finisher. But they were at a point where Eddie was always trying to lie, cheat, and steal his way either into the championship or to keep the championship. And we had kind of run the well dry. So it was interesting to see how they were going to keep, Eddie lying, cheating, and stealing. And this particular one with him loosening the boot and Kurt ripping it off and fucking getting confused and Eddie rolling him up. Very good ending, very unexpected. And it was to top off what I think was one of the better WrestleMania matches of all time. And yeah, definitely overshadowed because of the triple threat. But you want to see a classic, folks. Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. That's one of Guerrero's best matches.
Absolutely. And then, not for nothing, talk about the main event. I mean, well, we'll talk about my girl Victoria, and Molly
The head
Holly,
shaving match.
and they get like 5 minutes time. But Molly Holly, both of them fucking amazing workers. And it was a hair versus hair
Maybe
match.
the best at the
Yeah.
time.
It was.
Yeah. And and then Victoria is just absolutely perfect. So I mean,
I used to, after that match, I started calling her Molly Baldy.
Molly Baldy. I like that.
Yeah.
You know what though? She rocked it well. And she kept it. Like she kept it shaved for a while. Stuck with the gimmick.
yeah.
Could have easily just started growing it back and just stuck with it instead.
No, I think we need to start an online petition to bring hair versus hair match to ladies matches. I think the last one that fucking was bald there was, what's her name? That old too lean bitch she's in AEW. She's too fucking lean. It doesn't look good. Serena Deeb.
She had some issues. We won't.
I
She
don't
has
know
some-
what's going on. I'm meaning
She had
like
some health issues.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
like-
well,
I
her
mean,
when she was
like-
on the when she was on the CM Punk's thing, I thought she was like super hot. So
Me too. Me too.
I haven't seen her in years. I haven't seen her in years.
those
But,
are in fucking into bald chicks.
well, I mean, she is bald chick, but she also had like some other things that were the same size as her head. So
All right. So, anyways, I was thinking about making my head bald for Vegas to hang out with you guys. You guys into that or what?
the queen would be hot no matter what she does. You could be
as long as
bald.
we,
You could be
we'll just have to-
cross-eyed.
We'll just have to make a crown just a size smaller. That's all.
All right. Fuck Serena Deeb at this point in the CM Punk Straight Edge Society. Carlos
Damn.
is bringing up one of my other favorite matches from WrestleMania 20, Evolution versus a Rock and Sock Connection, which, by the way, if I can quote a little promo from The Rock. No, Mick, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We got the hamburger and Grievous. We're going to go out there. We're going to smack the lips off those Evolution sons of bitches. And then that's what I got. So I get really excited about WrestleMania 20. Clearly, I know it a lot word for word.
So for me personally, that was when I was purchasing my ticket. There was 2 matches that I was going. I already knew Benoit was winning the world title. I'd been following him from the Royal Rumble on, buying expensive ass front row seats to all these pay-per-views, just tracking his story. He was the main reason I was going. But besides that was Mick Foley, one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, coming back with the Rock and Sock Connection against, of course, my dad, Ric Flair, and Evolution. What a match. I know Mick hates on it and says it's one of his worst matches of all time. He fucking hates his performance. I think it was fantastic from the promo that TERYNN mentioned, where The Rock fucking was hilarious and peeked out from the crowd and did all that funny shit, to the very end. Ric Flair hitting one of the most famous people's elbows of all time, or attempting to, doing the strut and fucking dropping the F-bomb and everything else, and then fucking The Rock popping up and fucking, it was great, a lot of memorable moments. I spent a lot of money throughout my early fan days following anything Mick Foley and Ric Flair related. So for me personally, this was a dream come true match, and still holds up. You look at it, and it's one of those star-studded fucking spectacles that fucking, it's not the greatest match, but for what it is, it's a WrestleMania moment.
Absolutely. And then the main event.
The main event. 2 hours later, we finally get to the guy you can't talk about.
Yeah.
Well, here on the TERYNN Show, we talk.
Anything goes. It was the first time ever the world title was defended in a triple threat
We'll
match at
refer him to
WrestleMania.
as David Benoit's dad.
Yes, David Benoit's father, we'll say.
It was a different time.
But it was, I mean, anybody who's watched the TERYNN Show has heard me and TERYNN go on and on about how this is our favorite WrestleMania match. I truly believe it's probably the greatest match in WrestleMania history, just because of the long-term storytelling building up to it, what it represented, the emotion of the ending.
Yeah.
I know there's a slight taint on everything because of obviously events that happened in real life, but
Yeah. I'm still surprised to see that Triple H took the finish.
I was always surprised by that too.
I thought it was perfect, but I also, it was the longest crossface ever.
Yep.
But I did very much enjoy how that Triple H turn, and then gets stuck right in the middle of the ring. When I first saw that, I lost it, not even thinking that was a fucking thing that could happen.
And part of you didn't believe, we were at that moment where Triple H and all that, people like Benoit weren't winning. We were all so positive that they were going to build it up and then suck it away from us at the last fucking second. And instead, which is what they do, like historically, WWE will build that shit up and then yank it away.
I haven't seen
this
that
one time
since we watched Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives.
Oh, don't get me off. Fuck Guy Fieri. I love Violent J, but fuck Guy Fieri.
Let's end it on a better note. We are 2 hours and 5 minutes in. That is.
I think it's almost Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday, guys. First time ever TERYNN show on a Wednesday.
It is Wednesday in 1 minute. In 1 minute here.
All right.
Here in the United States, but thank God we're out here and we're in Canada right now.
Did we get our point across? We talked about WrestleMania 1 through 20.
We went through 1 through 20, and we're not going to do this again.
Until next week, you guys.
Until next week.
That being said, next week we are going through 21 to 41,
and we'll try and hit the rest of the script.
And then we can have a circle jerk around top fucking 5 moments of any WrestleMania. And
we'll combine
it'll probably once again go off the rails. But the following week?
You want to know why?
Is it the following week? What?
Well, next week is April Fool's Day. Is it?
Let me pull up my handy dandy calendar.
Anyways, what I was going to say is the reason why we're going to be able to combine these two shows is because WrestleMania 21 through 42 pretty much sucked ass. Like they were not good. And
21 was pretty good. We had the invention of
21 was John Cena's fucking.
Well, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
Yes,
there's a lot of one-offs and everything that sticks out more than the other.
Long story short, I'll watch WrestleManias 1 through 20 over and over again, while 22 through 42 I can do without.
21 through 40.
Anyways, TERYNN, give us
Taryn,
a wrap.
You guys, we love you. We're going to the after party. I'm pouring another part of a drink to chug. We appreciate you signing in, listen to our nonsense for 2 hours, 7 minutes. Oh no, it's a mess tonight. So
I think for 2 hours and 7 minutes we did good.
We covered a lot. We've been through a lot.
Head over to Pro Wrestling Tees. Carlos, I know you're watching. There's a brand new TERYNN Show shirt out. You and your girl need it. Everybody else needs it. ProWrestlingTees.com/TDS. In the meantime and in between time, keep fit and have fun.
It's about to get wild.